from, like they say, building it out, getting it out the mud, that nobody's going to give you anything. But when you work hard and you go to that table and you have a business plan and you have your bylaws with $10,000 in your business bank account, that you're going to get way more attention than you would get by going to the bank with just a vision, an idea, and a notepad.
Oh, yeah. You definitely got to have a solid business plan, and it definitely sounds like you have done a good job of putting that together and things of that nature. I noticed that one of the other things that I've observed is that, as I mentioned earlier when we were talking about the mayoral candidates, I remember going to a couple of the forums, and while a lot of the candidates would show up in the inner cities or like the neighborhoods that would be the equivalent of Walnut Terrace here in Durham during the campaign, there were a couple of people that would step up during the campaign and the debates, and they would ask those people, they said, look, you're showing up now, but will you show up after you're elected, if you're elected? And
exactly.
So most of the people would claim that they would, but claiming it and actually doing it are two different things. But I know that at least in the couple of forums that I attended, folks definitely were calling out onto the carpet and saying, look, we see you now, but we want to be sure that we're going to see you when you actually win the election, assuming that you win the election. So I'm sure that you've run into that as well.
Right, exactly, because, of course they're going to be out here trying to, show their face and things like that because they want that vote, but no one voted me in. This is just something that I saw needed to, that I saw needed to be done. Like, there was no race for me. This is my purpose. This is my reason for living. This is what I do on a daily basis, full time, is, come up with different courses and workshops and things for these kids. And I feel like if you're going to come out, to the community, and walk around and show your face, then you should be, introducing yourself to some of these people out here that's in the community like myself, that's out here doing activities and that's interacting on a daily basis with the parents and with the kids, because who know better than us? What's needed in this community? By walking around, you're not going to know anything. People can say, "Oh, yeah, he walked through," but do they even know your name?
Right.
What promises can you can you deliver after today? And that's why I don't get caught up in all that stuff. All of that is a distraction to me.
I can definitely understand that, because you sound like you definitely got a set purpose and things of that nature. I was wondering if you teamed up with any of the other folks that are doing similar work. So I know that we've had on this show before a gentleman by the name of Warren Wheeler, who's actually teaching young kids from around the Durham area how to become pilots and how to fly planes, because he has a flight simulator in the basement of the Hayti Heritage Center. And there's another young lady by the name of Sister One. She's a local rapper, but I know she just did a fundraiser that dealt with, I believe it was kidney disease and things of that nature. But she's done a lot of work in the Durham community, and this young lady herself is probably in her child is in his 20s, so I'm thinking Sister One is probably in her 40s, maybe mid to late 40s, and I know she's done a lot of community kind of work in the community, and it definitely sounds like she's done stuff similar to yours. So I was wondering if you've had a chance to bond or do any sort of joint efforts with any of the folks, either in the adjoining cities of Durham or Chapel Hill, or even there in Raleigh, because I know Fatima Smith has done some work with her Mullen agency around trying to help folks in the areas of Walnut Terrace and places like that.
Yeah. Well, I haven't connected with anyone in Durham or in Chapel Hill, but I have connected with companies that's here in Raleigh. I have partnered with the Mop Top Shop, which is a STEM program. It's a company that's for-profit, but she was nice enough to partner with my nonprofit to help me keep the STEM classes at a low price. So we do offer track out and after school program with the STEM program at Mop Top Shop. And I have also partnered with the Dream Center. The Dream Center pretty much they give out free food to children. They do tutoring and they do gym. And one of the things the outreach sources with my nonprofit is fitness. So I definitely wanted to link up with them so we can make sure not only are the kids, doing things physically, but they also getting the exercise that they need. And another program that I am looking into partnering with now is called Kids Notes, where they teach kids how to play instruments, and it's free of charge. So those are three of the local companies here in Raleigh that I have partnered with, or that I'm on my way to partner with, just to build Own Your Dream. I am looking for other companies to partner with. I'm looking for individuals that have any type of skills that they can teach kids, and that they are willing to, donate some of their time to teach a kid, how to do carpentry or, anything, art. I don't have an art instructor. So if you're listening and you have some type of skill that you can teach in kids ages 6 to 17, my contact information is www.ownyourdream, that's no S, nc.com. That's www.ownyourdreamnc.com, or you can find me on Facebook at Own Your Dream.
And what is the email? Because some people want to email folks and telephone number, if you don't mind giving that out, because some folks want to do it more old-fashioned way of telephone or also email. So if you want to give those out, I'm sure that folks would be interested in that, and Dean can also put that information up on our website.
Okay, so my email address is ownyourdream, no S, 2012 at gmail.com. That's ownyourdream, 2012 at gmail.com. And my phone number is 919-438-3577. That's 919-438-3577. And I look forward to hearing from you and networking with you. And we are looking for volunteers and donations all the time.
How many volunteers do you have currently working with you right now? Because, like I said, I know this is kind of your baby, but I know that anytime that people do these projects, it takes, like you said, a village to do these things. So how many volunteers do you have currently, and how many volunteers do you think you will need in order to get it to the level that you would like it to be?
Well, right now, I can say I have about 10 that I can depend on that's going to show up, no matter the event that I'm doing. But I also, I get volunteers based on my events. So if I'm having like a fashion and talent show, I go out and get volunteers that's into fashion. So I would say that I have a lot of support when it comes to people, lending a hand to volunteer. But it would be great if I had some that, more that I could depend on, and it's not just, by event, but they can come in to help with like the after school program or help with like the tutoring. Or, and it's not always hands-on with kids. I mean, I could use people to help look for grants. I can help, I can use people that can reach out to different colleges to get more programs involved and get students involved with the nonprofit, because that is one of my goals, to be able to have, kids helping kids, and, not so much as like the older people, but get some of these juniors and seniors that's in college and have them, come in and help some of our younger kids.
Have you had any success stories so far with any of the kids going through your program and starting their own businesses as of yet?
No, not as of yet, because the oldest kid that I worked with was probably 14 years old. So I do have some that's thinking about it, but they still trying to get on the right path to be able to be disciplined, I would say. And that's another thing that I left out, that I forgot about, that starting January the 28th, we'll also be offering therapy to the kids that participate with Own Your Dream, because I don't want to just give them the skills to be able to lay a good job. I also want them to be mentally stable when it comes to being out here, you know, in the community and just in the world in general. Because you can be a great photographer but have a bad attitude, and you make it all the way over to California and somebody step on your shoe and you shoot them because you didn't work on your anger management when you were 6.
Yeah, that's very true. So you definitely sounds like you're doing a good job of trying to get them trained as the total person, both not just mental, but also training them on the emotional as well as the with the exercise, the physical, and even some of the spiritual elements. I imagine that you probably do. You have any of the local churches involved with you right now, or are you reaching out to them as well?
I have reached out to churches. I won't say no names, but I have reached out to a couple of churches, and they haven't helped me to this day.
Wow. So even though they claim to be the one that helps the community, you're still finding that they're giving you roadblocks and stumbling blocks as well.
Exactly. So when I say it's me and the people that I get involved, it's me and the people that I get involved. And, you know, and what people may fail to realize is people from the community will help you more than you think. You know, people always think that you got to go to these corporate places and these churches to get help when they're not going to help you like they, you know, like people think they're going to help you. Everything is $1. And I respect the church. I mean, I am, you know, I do have a Christian faith, and I do respect the church, but I also know, you know, it's a business. It's a business, and I'm not going to give the money that I'm raising for my nonprofit to the church for you to be able to open your door so I can have a cooking class. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. One of the other organizations, I don't know whether you reached out to them or not, but they were actually in both Durham and Raleigh, is the Art of Cool folks, which do the big Art of Cool Jazz Festival. But they do several, like a jazz camp every year, and they've actually done events in both. They started in Durham, and they've worked in Raleigh, and they've worked with Kids Note. So I don't know if you've had a chance to reach out to Cicely Mitchell and Al Strong, but they would definitely be some good folks to talk to, as well as some of the folks at American, as well as some of the folks at American Tobacco that are doing some work teaching folks about how to get involved with computers and things of that nature. I think they're doing both computers and video games, but definitely computer work. So there are some organizations around here that are doing that kind of stuff. I know that just this past weekend there was a group that has a thing called Black Wall Street, and they basically had several businesses make pitches about their whatever their business was. And some of the businesses were the kind of business that you're talking about. Some were like product businesses, but then some were also service-based businesses. And after they made a pitch, several corporations gave money to these people, whichever corporation won. And I think this is like their either second or third year of doing this. So this is like an ongoing process that they're doing regularly. So there are definitely some folks that I can put you in touch with that might be of interest to you in terms of trying to grow the business and make it even more successful. Because I can definitely relate to being that first. Are your folks still involved in terms of your mother and in terms of your grandparents? Are they still involved with the business at all? Because I can relate to being that firstborn grandchild. So even though I'm in my 50s, I was the firstborn grandchild. So I know what that can be like.
Yes, well, my mom, yes, and my aunts and my uncles, they are all still involved in what I have going on. But unfortunately, my grandmother passed away in 2000 from brain cancer. So she is definitely one of the reasons why another reason why I go as hard as I go, because I don't ever want to let her down.
So she was like one of your inspirations, it sounds like. Who are some of your other inspirations in terms of trying to get this business launched off the ground? It sounds like your grandmother was a strong inspiration. Were there any other community people or just people in general that you have admired? They can even be national figures that you used to be your own personal inspirations. Yes,
I have a god sister by the name of Jennifer Snipes, who is a therapist, and she's also been a great influence in my life. She was one of the main people that was there for me when my grandmother passed away, and pretty much kept me on the right path. And so I didn't let the death discourage me from what the final goal was. And other than that, I probably would say no because, you know, like I said, as a young age, I already